Looks like he's playing for the damn Bears right now.
Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Daniel Hood Roofing. Brand new roofs of all types and prices, perfect for your home and your needs. Roof repair, which they're doing some of that work for a family member of mine right now, as a matter of fact. Guttering work, they do that as well. Daniel Hood Roofing is the group to call. You've seen Daniel on the show, and I have no problem telling you that he's the guy that I would call. I have called. Daniel Hood Roofing does a great job. Gutters, roofs, roof repair. They do it all. All right. This is our rapid fire segment. We're a little behind, so I'm going to try and catch up. We got 4 rapid fire questions, including 1 bonus. We have to be hurried here. Josh, Tyon Evans didn't play. Javonte Payton left in the second drive of the game. If those guys had played, would it have made a difference, ... in the outcome? Would it have made a difference? Would it have made a difference in the outcome?
A difference in the outcome of the game? No. A difference in the point spread? Would I be paying out to Chuck Cavaleris at the end of the show? Perhaps. There's a play down the left sideline to Ramel Keaton. That's what would stand out to me most obviously. Peyton has better speed. If that's Peyton in that position, there's a good chance he can catch the football. There's a good chance they can score on that drive. Maybe they don't. We don't know that they do, but a better chance than obviously with it being incomplete. But do they win the game? No. And Tyon Evans, you'd love to have him out there. He's one of Tennessee's best players, but I think he's getting swarmed like everybody else.
Okay. And the Peyton thing is going to be one to watch moving forward. You hope against South Alabama and Vandy you're not going to be desperately needing your deep threat, but that's one to keep an eye on. Jimmy, take a look at these 4 stats, and you tell me which of those statistics had the bigger impact on yesterday's outcome. The sacks, the third down conversions, the red zone conversions, or the turnovers?
I'm going to go sacks. The turnovers are big, but I'm going to go sacks because I think that not only were you creating negative plays for Tennessee, you also were putting Hendon Hooker in harm's way. I think that contributed to some of his errant throws. We've talked about the pounding that he took. I'm going to say they sacked him 6 times. Well, they sacked him 5 and Milton once. Yeah. But I think the sacks.
All right, very good. Will, I went back and looked at all of Josh Heupel's games this season, all of his games at UCF, all of his games as Missouri's offensive coordinator. Basically, all 71 games since he has adopted this Baylor-type system. And let's go ahead and put up the numbers. What I found was first quarter, 809 points. Second quarter, 829 points. Third quarter, 608. Fourth quarter, 528. Do those numbers, and let me break it down. This is a different way of looking at it, okay? Now, that's those numbers pile up when you look over 71 games. If you look at the averages, what it tells you is he averages about 11.3 points in the first quarter, 11.6 in the second quarter, so about 23 points in the first half. Then it drops off. Third quarter, 8.5. Fourth quarter, 7.5. About 16 points, all right? Do those numbers tell you anything? Is there anything you glean from that breakdown?
Well, I mean, you could take a few things, but it's going to be a little hard to parse through at that high a level because you could say, hey, it's the game planning at the very first of this that he comes out with a plan, the scripted plays, and they jump out all over people. From there, at the end, at the half, then the transition, you could say, okay, they pull their foot off the gas, they've jumped out ahead of somebody so far, so then it's about just running the clock out. Or you could say they don't make adjustments and the other team makes adjustments, and that's why you're down. It's hard to really pull out because you know there's going to be games in there where you're playing Southwest Valley State that you got up by 45 on, and so you are taking your foot.
Or Missouri.
Yeah. And so it's a hard one to parse out just because it's probably there's some things of both. I mean, Georgia got pounced on first couple of drives, right? Then they figured some things out. So there is some of that belief of some people know how to make some adjustments. But at the same time, the one thing it continuously says is when he has a chance to write up a script against your defense, hold on to your hats for the first half. You're going to get some points scored on you.
I think it tells you if you're a Tennessee fan, you want to have that lead. You want to have your points early.
Yep.
Because if you're not getting them early, that doesn't suggest you're suddenly going to turn it on late. Mm-hmm. All right, Chuck, keep your eye on me. Look at me. Don't cheat. All right. Cedric Tillman yesterday had a great day. 10 catches, 200 yards. Out of Tennessee's 387, he had 200 of them, and a touchdown. It was just the 9th 200-yard receiving day in Tennessee history. He's just the 8th guy to do it. Now, we're not going to put up the graphic net yet, so don't look at it, Chris. Don't put it up yet. But I'm going to give you $20 if you can tell me the one guy who had 2 200-yard receiving days.
Do I get 20?
How many guesses?
No, because you can look. No, one guess.
Stanley Morgan.
Wrong.
Johnny Mills.
Wrong, but that's a good guess. You saw the list, but you just didn't pay attention to who did it twice. Put the list up. You've lost your money. Denarius Moore.
Right.
I think we could have sat here all day.
Uh-huh.
And
I wrote it down for him.
yeah, Jimmy claims he had it.
Hey, well, you saw
He
it.
had it. He
Denarius
wants
Moore
his
did it
20.
twice.
I need 10 of it.
But here's the, when did you look at your media guide
I didn't
last?
look at it.
Yeah.
I wrote it down right here.
But I give you credit then. Denarius Moore is not the first name off my lips. And I'm trying to think, 2010. Marlon, Daniel, would you have been on that team? Yeah. Okay, there you go. They're not mic'd up and they're offset, so that was meaningless for me to ask them. But yes, they were on that team for those of you who can't hear them. Anyway, there's your list. Kelly, the future Washington, at the top of the list. The one that stands out to me that's most impressive is Johnny Mills doing that in 1966. Yeah. That's a different day and age to do that in 1966. And you also see that it's been done against Kentucky
Yeah.
3 times. So
Yeah, if you did yardage inflation, is Johnny Mills number one?
that
then on
would
the
be
list?
number one, I think so.
Okay.
And the yardage inflation is really bad right now. Okay, last question for everybody. It's a bonus question. Tennessee is 5-3 this year when they wear orange and white. They are 0-2 this year when they wear orange and black. Is it time to chuck, no pun intended, the orange and black?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I can see it as a one-time thing if that's what you want to do, and it's a reward to your player vote for winning a game or whatever. But that's not your look. It's not pride in the black, it's pride in the orange.
I worried against you, T. Martin.
You're younger than the rest of us, and you're a Raiders fan. So keep the black or dump it.
Yeah, black's a great uniform color. Yeah, maybe when Missouri comes to town next year. Try it. And if it doesn't
Get a
work there,
winning
then
streak.
definitely
Get a winning streak with him.
Yeah.
Start using it
Find
against
somebody-
South Alabama
yeah.
and Vandy.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Maybe
Very
build
good.
up the record.
All right. This Vol team can still win 8 games. So you got 2 more games you're going to be heavily favored in. Then you're going to get a bowl game if you win these next 2 games. You can win that one. You could win 8 games. But does that mean anything in this day and age? 8-5? Does it matter? We'll discuss that with our VFLs next. Come on back.